Good afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is Newsfeed on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. China warns the Philippines on the $500 million military aid from the U.S. Beijing's foreign ministry says this will only lead to greater insecurity for the Philippines. According to spokesman Lin Jian, trying to introduce external forces to protect its own security will only lead to greater insecurity for itself and might even become someone else's pawn. He adds that wooing countries from outside the region to provoke confrontation in the South China Sea will only undermine regional stability and aggravate tensions. The United States is providing the Philippines $500 million in defense funding following U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's meeting with top Philippine officials Tuesday. Blinken says the military assistance will boost security collaboration with America's oldest ally in the region. Another resignation from the Marcos cabinet, Trade Secretary Alfredo Pasqual stepping down. In a statement, Pascual said he will be returning to the private sector and he also wants to spend more time with his family. The president, meanwhile, thanked Pascual for his service, adding he feels sorry to see him leave his cabinet, but he respects the decision. Pascual's resignation will take effect Friday, August 2. Prior to his stint as Trade Secretary, Pascual served as president of the Management Association of the Philippines and the University of the Philippines. Malacanang has yet to name his successor. Trash and drainage problems have been blamed for the severe flooding that hit Metro Manila at the height of Super Typhoon Karina. As Hannity reports, the MMDA and the Public Works Department are crafting a master plan to address this.
The drainage plan has been approved in principle by the World Bank for funding, according to the Metro Manila Development Authority or MMDA.
50 years from now, ano po yung dami ng ulan? At ano na yung level ng tide ng tubig sa dagat para doon po nila ibabase yung pagpapagawa ng drainage system.
The master plan aims to create detailed engineering designs for drainage systems across Metro Manila. In collaboration with DPWH and LGUs, the project ensures consistent drainage levels and efficient water exit from major waterways. To mitigate severe typhoon impacts like Typhoon Karinas, the MMDA also proposes new pumping stations and water impounding projects to repurpose flood water for agricultural, household, economic, and even tourism uses. Quezon City, heavily impacted by Typhoon Karina, also has its own drainage master plan with the University of the Philippines Resilience Institute and NOAA Center. The plan includes detailed studies, flood hazard simulations, clearing and dredging operations, and improved waste management.
It's a long-range master plan for the next 25 to actually hanggang 100 years pa pwede.
Garbage is a major contributor to severe flooding, a point uncontested in the House Committee on Metro Manila Development hearing.
Isa sa mga dapat talaga natin tingnan, how to resolve our solid waste problem. How to reduce yung malabas na napupunta sa mga waterways natin.
Muntinlupa Mayor Rufy Biazon urged improved LGU disaster preparations and stressed the need for proactive measures despite Muntinlupa's limited impact from Typhoon Karina.
So if we could recommend one thing that Congress can do, let's review. Baka pwede natin magawa to enable local governments to do relocation programs, lalo na yung nasa danger zone, para malibre natin sila, yung mga waterways na yan.
Pag-asa confirmed Typhoon Karina did not make landfall in the Philippines, but intensified the southwest monsoon or habagat, leading to at least 39 deaths, with 14 confirmed, and affecting more than 4 million Filipinos. Hannity, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
The Philippine government looking to build more dams to address the flooding problem in Metro Manila, but one lawmaker suggests dredging the Laguna Lake instead. Bea de la Cruz has more.
The Department of Public Works and Highways plans to build more dams in Montalban, Rizal to help resolve perennial flooding in Metro Manila. Admitting less than 30% of the flood control master plan has been implemented, Secretary Manuel Banoan says this series of dams will stem flooding downriver. Wawa Dam, the only dam in Montalban, is no longer enough to hold back water during torrential rains.
That dam would have stored, I think, about more than 80 million cubic meters there. More than 80 million cubic meters of floodwaters. And that would have really relieved actually the downflow of floodwaters to Metro Manila.
But House Public Works Committee Vice Chairperson Jose Alvarez wants the DPWH to dredge Laguna de Bay first.
I still remember Laguna de Bay is a very deep impounding dam. And there has never been, in the last 20 governments, there has never been an effort done to dredge the Laguna de Bay. You can do that in this administration.
Banoan says dredging Laguna Lake with an area of over 900 square kilometers will be very expensive.
Although it costs a lot of money, but let's bite the bullet. There's so much money in this Congress. Why are you not getting it? Mr. Secretary, don't tell me mahina ka.
Alvarez says dredging the lake will solve 30% of Metro Manila's floods. Bea de la Cruz, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Akbayan is positioning itself as the main opposition in the 2025 midterm polls. Led by Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Ontiveros, the party convened its 9th National Congress in Manila with close to 200 attending, including former Senators Kiko Pangilinan and Bam Aquino and former Human Rights Chairperson Eta Rosales. Akbayan says it is ready for the midterm elections and will field in a ticket headed by Ontiveros. The party brands itself as the real opposition and slams the Duterte camp's claim to the title. Former Senator Manny Villar tops the July list of richest individuals in the Philippines. Forbes' real-time billionaires list shows that the combined wealth of 13 Filipinos also increased by 5% month on month, reaching $45.9 billion in July. Villar's wealth is up 2.5% to $12.2 billion. Following Villar is Enrique Razon. San Miguel boss Ramon Ang is in third spot, followed by Lucio Tan. Meanwhile, the C family occupies 5 spots in the ultra-Bilyonaryo list. World News Now, the UN Security Council is calling for stepped-up diplomatic efforts to avert an all-out war in the Middle East. This after the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran early Wednesday, sparking threats of revenge against Israel and raising tensions in the region. Japan's Deputy UN Representative Shino Mitsuko fears the Middle East is on the brink of an all-out war and urges international efforts to prevent such a conflict. China, Russia, and Algeria condemned the assassination. Iran's ambassador calls it an act of terrorism. The US, UK, and France, on the other hand, raised what they say is Iranian support in destabilizing the region. Thousands of pro-Palestinian demonstrators took to the streets of Istanbul to protest the killing of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh. His assassination raised fears the war in Gaza could spiral out of control. Israel has so far made no claim of responsibility and said it will not comment on his death. Hundreds also gathered in Karachi, Pakistan to offer prayers for the slain leader, and similar protests were also held in other cities. Over now to the Paris Games, the new Olympic event kayak cross set to get its first medalists. The men's competition will take place Thursday afternoon, where the first gold medal of the event will be awarded. The sport combines the element of traditional kayak racing with the strategic and physical aspects of head-to-head races. Aside from kayak cross, the International Olympic Committee also introduced other sports like climbing and skateboarding to attract a younger audience. And those are the news this hour. I'm Maya Rodriguez. Stay tuned to Bilyonaryo News Channel for more top-of-the-hour news. Catch us on Free TV Channel 31 and also on our website, bnc.ph. Good afternoon.